you action figure enthusiasts out there, JC here with another TNINews video. And today I'm basically just going to be talking to you guys about Neca stuff and the latest Marvel Legend reveal that came from today's Fan Friday event, which some of you I'm sure probably watched it live, but I'm going to talk about that. But before we get to that, I just wanted to talk, I talked about 3 of the 4 NECA San Diego Comic-Con exclusives yesterday, and today they revealed the 4th one, and it in fact is an Aliens based one. It is essentially, they've taken their 7-inch big chap figure and they've turned it into a glow-in-the-dark figure. And based on the images, it looks really cool, you know, brightly lit up and everything when it's glowing. It comes with, you know, the face hugger and the little wormy alien and the egg accessories, and you know, the packaging also glows in the dark. So, you know, if you like glow-in-the-dark figures, especially if you're an Alien fan, I think this is one you're going to want to check out. It is going to cost $29.96 if you buy it in store, and this one, like with the Predator one and the Gremlins one, are going to be sold at Walmart stores, physical stores. If you want to get it online, you will be able to purchase it on the NECA store website, not the Walmart website. Again, like the Predator and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or not Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but the Predator and the Gremlin sets that I talked about yesterday. And however, if you do buy it online, it is going to cost a bit more. It's going to cost $34.99. Now, these, like the other exclusives, are going to be made available starting on Thursday, July 23rd. That's really when San Diego Comic-Con would have been taking off and everything. So that's when they're going to start offering these. And they'll put links. They'll put out links for these the day of the sale, they've said. So if you're going to try and get them online, you know, just stay tuned, and those links will be made available. But like I said yesterday, and want to reiterate, all the 3 of the 4 exclusives, if you're going to buy them online, will be sold on NECA's web store or Walmart physical stores. And then the Turtle set, which I talked about yesterday, that's the one exclusive which will be sold at Target stores. And if you want to buy that one online, you will have to go to the Target website, not the NECA store. At least for those of us here in the U.S. If you're international, then you can actually get the Turtle set on the NECA store as well. Now, one thing real quick, I forgot to mention about the Turtle set yesterday, which I showed you some images, but I didn't specifically mention it. The stage actually turns into, or the packaging for that set actually turns into a stage so that you can display your figures on it, make it look like they're playing their instruments and everything. So I definitely thought that was kind of cool about that Turtle set. And with this one, like I said, with this alien figure, the packaging will glow in the dark. So, you know, they've kind of gone all out on the packaging with all these San Diego Comic-Con exclusives this year. Now, while on the subject of NECA, I also just want to go over a couple other things. They did a Q&A the other day on their Twitter feed, and so I just wanted to relay some of the information they put out during that. So first of all, I think probably the biggest news from that is that it looks like they are trying to take steps with their Walmart exclusive stuff, specifically speaking in regards to the Turtle stuff. They're trying to take steps to kind of circumvent that stuff being sold on the Walmart website, and instead being able to sell them on their own website. Now, I don't know that for sure. I'm just kind of going by some of the hints that they've been dropping about certain things. They've definitely kind of expressed, even though they, you know, obviously they haven't come out exactly and said it, but they've kind of shown that they're not terribly happy with how Walmart handled the sale of the Casey Jones and the Raphael in Disguise 2-pack when it became available online. So I think what's going on is they're trying to take steps so that they can actually handle the online sales of those products themselves. And if that is the case, and they are successful with that, then I applaud them for their effort. You know, while it's very easy to get frustrated at the toy manufacturers for all these problems that we're having with online purchases from places like Walmart and the exclusives and everything, you also have to realize that these companies are kind of in a rock and a hard place. For them to really be able to grow and be successful, they have to be able to, you know, get their products into places like a Walmart and a Target that has, you know, greater distribution than like your small e-tailers and things like that. You know, with the fall of Toys R Us and everything, it really kind of limited a lot of these places. Used to be that's where NECA sold their stuff, Toys R Us, and then that relationship, while not perfect, seemed to work pretty good, but obviously Toys R Us went under, and so now they've had to try to make strides to get their stuff into places like Target and Walmart. So with that, that gives Walmart, you know, places like Walmart a lot of basically power. You know, they get to call the shots essentially, and so, you know, I'm not saying that there's no fault in the manufacturers and what they do, but, you know, I think there has to be an understanding as well of what's going on. So if they're successful in being able to essentially be able to sell a lot of these exclusives, these Walmart exclusives on their own website, and they're able to make them available enough so that people can actually have a decent shot at getting them, you know, like I said, I will applaud them for their efforts in that. Now, the first set that we might see this with is the one that I think a lot of people are looking for, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie set with the Toka and Raza figures that they showed back during Toy Fair. So they've indicated that it's not necessarily going to be released the same way the other Walmart stuff has been released, and that it should be much easier for you to get. Again, they haven't said specifically, but where I'm kind of reading is that they're trying to get this so that they're going to be able to sell this 2-pack on their own store to everybody, not just international folk, but to people here in the United States as well. Now, physically, you know, if you want to get it, go into a store and physically get it, you'll still go. My guess is you'll still go into the Walmart store, but for online purchasing, my impression is they're trying to work it out that they can sell some of these stuff. Now, apparently, just some, because like one of the other things they announced the other day was that the Turtle 2-packs that they're re-releasing, the movie Turtles that were originally released at GameStop and also San Diego Comic-Con exclusives, those are only going to be made available at stores. You're not going to be able to purchase them online. So if you want to get those, if you need those, really the only difference with those and the previous Turtle figures they released is, I believe, is they have extra bandanas. So, you know, if you already have the GameStop ones or the San Diego Comic-Con ones, my guess is you really don't need to get these Walmart ones. These are really just for those who maybe missed out on those. But for those 2-packs, you will have to actually go into physical stores. So it may be where like some stuff Walmart decides that is only offered at physical stores, and then for other stuff that they allow to be sold online, they're going to allow NECA to sell it on their store directly. Again, that's just my speculation, but that's kind of sounds like what's going on here. But we'll just have to wait and see. Now, the other bit of news I wanted to share with you is on the Target front with the animated series figures. So the Wave 3 is going to be coming out real soon, or should start coming out real soon. You know, the other week NECA put out some release dates for those, and they gave 3 different release dates, starting the first one again next week, July 16th, and then a second one for August 6th, and then a third one for August 20th. Now, when they originally gave those dates, the general thought was that they would put out all 3 sets on each of those dates and just, you know, kind of restocking. But as it turns out, it looks like they're going to be doing what they're calling staggered release. So don't expect to see all 3 on that July 16th date. Really only expect probably to see 1, and then they'll release a second one. There's three 2-packs that they're doing in the third wave, and so it looks like you can expect to see 1, and they haven't said specifically which one is going to be released on which date, but you can expect to see 1 released on July 16th, and then the second one released on August 6th, and then the third one released on August 20th. And those dates should apply to both online and physical stores, and those will be sold on the Target website. Now, how greatly available, that still remains in question. Hopefully, you know, it'll go better than what we saw with the Rocksteady and Bebop and the Wave 2 figures. You know, they've continued to say that they're working with these retailers to get this stuff out in greater number. So hopefully, you know, I don't really understand the point of the staggered release, but if on July 16th I can go to like the Target website and get whichever 2-pack they put out first without hassle, and then again get the second one on August 6th and the third one on August 20th, you know, with little to no hassle, or if I can walk into my local Target and have a reasonable expectation of finding those on shelves, then I have absolutely no problem with the staggered release. If that somehow helps that to happen, then I'm all for it. But we'll just have to wait and see. And, you know, like I said, if they're successful with all this, then I applaud them, because I'm sure, you know, they're kind of in the weaker negotiating position with the Walmarts, you know, of what they can do, and kind of have to bow down to, you know, Walmart's needs. Because, yeah, you have to remember that essentially, while we shop at Walmart and Target, their actual direct customer really is those retailers, more so than us as the individual consumer. So now, one other thing I wanted to let you guys know on the turtle front from Neca. So some of you had actually made me aware of this, but the actor who plays Casey Jones in the original 90s movies, he originally had apparently not wanted his likeness used on the action figure. I've talked about this before, where Neca actually sculpted an unmasked head sculpt for that Casey Jones figure that's being released now in the Raphael Casey Jones Walmart exclusive 2-pack, but they weren't able to use it because they weren't able to secure the actor's likeness. He has now since essentially come out on Twitter and said that he's changed his mind and he's open to them using his likeness. Now, keep in mind, however, even though he's now saying that he's open to the idea, they have not, you know, the two parties have not actually negotiated a deal. So that's not, you know, him saying that he's willing to allow them to use his likeness. They still have to come to an agreement on how much he has to be paid for them to essentially use that likeness. And, you know, if he asks for way too much money, you know, Neca may have to decline it or what have you. So we'll just have to wait and see how that plays out. Neca says they're hopeful that it will happen eventually, which means obviously it's too late with the 2-pack that's already hitting shelves now. But what that likely means is if they are successful, then down the road they will probably do another Casey Jones figure with the unmasked head sculpt. So again, for those of you who are wanting that, it looks like it's a possibility, and if any more details come to light on that front, I'll be sure to let you guys know. Okay, and then switching gears to Marvel. So big news of the day is, for most of you I'm sure, is the Marvel Fan Friday live stream, which if you weren't working or what have you, you probably tuned in yourself. But I just want to go over what they shared during that video, and what today's focus was on, in fact, was the Haslab project that they had teased back during Toy Fair and then again back in May. And in fact, as we all suspected, it is a Sentinel. Now, for the X-Men movie stuff that I talked about yesterday, look, they're going to be doing another thing of reveals on Tuesday, and that's when that stuff might, and this is mostly speculation, but I feel pretty confident that this is what Tuesday's reveals are going to be. But we're talking about the San Diego Comic-Con exclusives, and in today's video, they actually showed up at the end of the video. They showed up this little book with the H on it, which I think stands for Hellfire Club. So I think they were teasing that rumor is in fact true. Again, we'll have to wait until Tuesday to see, but it looks like, you know, in fact, one of the San Diego Comic-Con exclusives is going to be a Hellfire Club set. The other one should be movie-based, but again, I don't know what it is. And then they also, I think, are going to basically give us updates on the other X-Men movie stuff that they showed off in February, the Logan and the Mystique, and then possibly even the Deadpool figures as well. I believe they're, you know, at least the first set, the X-Men figures, the Logan and Mystique, and the Professor X and Magneto 2-pack are going to be going up for pre-order very soon, possibly that day or the day after would be my guess. And then I think the Deadpool stuff is supposed to go up for pre-order later in the month, but we'll just have to wait and see. Now, whether they do any show anything else, I mean, there's other X-Men stuff that they teased, the Storm figure, which is rumored to come with a 2-pack, the classic Storm, first appearance Storm, that's rumored to come with a updated Thunderbird figure, and then also the Legacy Rogue figure that they've shown, which is rumored to be coming with a Pyro figure, a 2-pack with Pyro, which the Storm figure, I believe the 2-pack is supposed to be a Target exclusive. I have no idea how the Rogue set will be released. I don't know if they'll show that stuff on Tuesday or not. There's also the Nimrod figure, which is rumored to be in a 3-pack with Phantom X and Psylocke, which I believe is likely going to be an Amazon exclusive. Not confirmed, but rumors are it's likely going to be Amazon, mainly because that's where the listing showed up at for that figure is on Amazon. So I think that's why we all kind of think it's going to be an Amazon exclusive. But I don't know if they're going to share that stuff or just stick with the movie stuff. We'll have to wait in the San Diego Comic-Con exclusives, but we'll have to tune in on Tuesday and find out. But of course, we'll be sure to, whatever's revealed, we'll be sure to update you on Marvelous News, and I'll probably do a news video on that day as well. But getting back to what they did actually show today, so they are doing a Sentinel. It is essentially a regular Sentinel. It's not like Master Mold, which is what I was really kind of hoping for. So I had a little bit of a letdown factor just because it wasn't Master Mold. That's really what I had kind of built up in my head as hoping for. I think overall this is a pretty cool looking figure. It is said to be about 26 inches tall, so about twice as big, a little bit more than twice as big as the 12-inch Sentinel that they did previously. It is based on a more modern design from like the House of X storyline, so it's not like a classic Sentinel design. It is more of a modern design. It is said to have about 72 points of articulation, so very articulated, including like articulated fingers and stuff, so you can grab people and such. You're getting a tentacle, one tentacle, at least right now, one tentacle that is said to be about 18 inches long and will be made with bendy wire that'll plug into either the left or the right hand, and you can use that to like capture people. So that's going to be included with the figure. And then you also are going to get a 6-inch action figure of Bastion, which is going to come with an alternate head sculpt, an alternate Sentinel Prime head sculpt, so that you can actually use it as like an army builder type thing. So they deliberately chose a character that that you wouldn't want multiples of. So I actually think that's kind of cool. And like I said, it's also Bastion. So if you end up buying multiples of these, you can get Bastion, the Sentinel Prime, and then also have your big giant Sentinel. So that's all pretty cool. The price on this is going to be $349.99, about $350. Again, this is a Haslab project, which means it has to reach a certain goal. The goal amount is they need 6,000 backers by August 24th. So and the project is live now. So if you want to go back it now, you can, and I will put a link to that in the video description below. Now, if they go beyond the 6,000, they have 3 different unlockable add-ons that even if you get the figure now and they reach those unlockable goals, you will automatically get the add-on. So it's not like you have to wait in order to get them. Now, if they don't reach their goals, they won't get the add-ons. But the goals are essentially, 6,000 is the minimum, and then if they get to 7,000, it will unlock one add-on. And I think general thought is it'll be a second tentacle. Makes the most sense. So I mean that's just using common sense. Then if you get to 8,000 subscribers, there's going to be a second add-on. Have no idea what that's going to be. And then if they get to 9,000 backers, there will be a third unlockable add-on. And again, I have absolutely no idea what that will be. So, but if you go on and fund it now and they reach those goals, again, you will automatically get those add-ons. It's not like you have to wait and until they're unlocked to buy the figure. Now, if you're on the fence, you may want to wait until they're unlocked so you can see what they are, see if that kind of sways you. Of course, the downside to that is if everybody waited, then they wouldn't actually reach the unlockable goals. While I'm sure there's going to be some people who complain about the price, and honestly, I mean, the price I would say is a little bit on the high side, but that price is supposed to include shipping for at least those of us in the United States, which I think is, makes the price a little more justifiable in my opinion. It's not a mass-produced line or figure, so that makes it a little more expensive, which I know sucks. And some of you are probably saying, well, why don't they just release it as a normal release? Well, I think part of that is if you recall the last time they really mass-produced a Sentinel figure, which the last Sentinel they did, and I'm not talking about the Amazon one, which was just a re-release of that same Sentinel with the Wolverine, and that was done as an exclusive. But I'm talking about when they mass-produced that Sentinel, which was part of the Marvel Universe line. It was available everywhere. That figure apparently did not sell very well because a lot of them ended up at discount stores like Ross stores and was sold at a significantly discounted price. I personally picked up that Sentinel from the Ross store, and I think didn't even pay half the retail price of it. I don't remember what I paid, but it was definitely much cheaper than the actual retail price. And so when that happens, when you see that stuff go to those discount stores, that means that stuff didn't sell very well. And so, I think it's kind of understandable that Hasbro didn't try and get this out to, a mass produce figure. I also think retailers like Walmart and Target wouldn't be very interested in carrying something that big. But even if they could convince them to carry it, it probably would just be online. You'd have to pay for shipping and things like that. So it would have been nice if it was maybe under $300. I certainly am not going to argue that point, but I also don't think $350 is a super outrageously high price either. Now, one thing to keep in mind if you're a Star Wars collector is Hasbro. You're probably aware Hasbro has announced that they are also going to be doing a Star Wars Haslab project this year. So, are you going to be able to afford both? You might want to wait until you see what the Haslab Star Wars project is going to be before you make a commitment to this one. If you can afford both, then go ahead. But like I said, I'm not too keen on the idea of doing two big action figure type Haslabs in the same year. But I don't know. Unless they do a Death Star playset, I probably would. And maybe a Razor Crest if it was a really detailed and nice size and everything. Razor Crest, I might do that one. But otherwise, I don't see much that they could offer for Star Wars that would really motivate me to want to jump in on another Haslab project. I actually did not get the skiff just because I didn't have the room for it, and so I passed on the skiff. But again, you might want to wait and see because there is that coming, and you might have to make a decision. Like I said, for me, unless it's a Death Star playset or maybe the Razor Crest, I will likely go with the Marvel one. I'm only going to get one. Some people probably are going to try and army build this thing, which more power to you if you've got that kind of money. I don't. I'm going to probably just get the one. But like I said, I really think that while it would be nice if it was maybe a little bit cheaper, I don't think $350, which includes the shipping, includes the extra figure, possibly some additional cool add-ons. We'll have to wait and see. I don't think it's a horrible price. So that's just my thought. Let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know if you're interested in getting the Sentinel. If you're going to get the Sentinel, let me know how many Sentinels you're going to get. I'd love to hear your thoughts. That's it for today. I will be back next week. Obviously, we're starting to get into San Diego Comic-Con. So news is definitely going to be picking up as the days and weeks go forward here in July. So you'll probably be seeing me doing a lot more news videos on a more regular basis than previously. But definitely on Tuesday I'll be doing one, and we'll go from there. But let me know your thoughts on everything I talked about. Also, don't forget about the contest. Not only can you get all the latest news, but you can also win a $100 store credit to Big Bad Toy Store. I'll have a link to the video with those details if you haven't checked that out already down in the video description. Also, the Haslab, if you want to go over, if you don't know how to get to Haslab, I'll put a link to that in the video description as well. And until next time, stay safe out there, and I'll catch you guys later.
Hey, thanks for watching today's video, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification so alerted every time I upload a new video. And be sure to head over to the Toy News International and Marvelous News Message Boards communities. It's a great place to talk toys and win cool contests like $100 store credits to Big Bad Toy Store. And remember, action figures are great.